with Mama Rita. I hope your week was good. Oh my God, my week was stressful. Too many meetings, too many counseling, too many engagements. Oh my God. I hope I don't look too tired, but I'll be fine. If you are getting married, or you are about to get married, please go to Instagram and listen to my message on how to prepare for honeymoon. My darling, don't go and disgrace me. How to prepare for honeymoon. What to take when you are going on honeymoon. Please go and listen to it. And then give me a call for further questions. But what are we doing today? Today we are doing teens and drugs. I see so many lives wasted. Guys who could have been better. Ladies who could have been better, but for drugs. Is it good? How do we handle our society? How do we handle our children? How can you suspect that this son of mine or this daughter of mine is into drugs? Today, I have 3 gentlemen. Oh my God. Something will happen today. 3 gentlemen who were former drug addicts entered into my school of restoration. I will leave them to talk to you about school of restoration. Today, their lives, they are no longer on drugs. Some of them are married. Let me not go ahead of time. But with me in the studio is Pastor, yes, you heard me. I said Pastor, you heard me. Pastor Ya Boahene Osai. And also with me in the studio is Max Kwame Osei. And then today I have one international guest. You heard me. One international guest. All the way from South Korea. Eben Aqua. Eben, welcome to the studio.
Yes, mommy.
I can see your cheeks.
Thank you, mommy.
South Korea is good for you. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you, mommy.
Yeah.
Thank you, mommy.
Hi, Mom.
I want you to introduce yourself.
Okay.
Tell us a bit about yourself, your background.
Okay. So my name is, now Pastor Yao Bohene Osai, and I attended Presbyterian Boys Secondary School, PRESEC for short.
Okay.
And when I had to further my education at the University of East London, that's when I fell into drugs and all that. And I am married to Lady Deacon Darilyn Bohene Osai, and we have a beautiful son, Victor Raphael Kofi Awuku Bohene Osai.
Wow.
And we live in the suburbs of Accra. We're into ministry, and I'm a proud son of the Apostle General and a great product of School of Restoration, Mommy.
Welcome.
Thank you, Mommy.
Max, please introduce yourself.
So my name is Max Kwame Osei. I attended Nkwetia Senior High School. From there to Accra Technical University. After school, I got into drugs. So I didn't want to get my degree until, by the grace of God, I came to Royal Chapel. The power and the presence. Apostle John told us that you need to further education. So I got my degree. By the grace of God, I work at Fidelity Bank as well.
Wow.
I'm married.
Wow. Wow. You are welcome.
Thank you, Mommy.
Eben, all the way from
Yes, Mom.
South Korea, please introduce yourself.
My name is Ebenezer Apocho Apa. I attended infant film school and got admission to University of Ghana. But because of drugs, I dropped out of university in 2010. In 2011, I joined Royal House Chapel International School of Restoration. And Apostle General gave me scholarship to go back to the university. And today, as I speak to you, I am currently doing my graduate program in South Korea, Daegu Institute of Science and Technology.
Eben,
Yes, mommy.
where were you before I found you at the School of Restoration? Where were you sleeping?
I was sleeping at Circle Railway on the rail lines.
So for our international audience, Circle Railways or Rail Line is a ghetto place where you find all sorts of social misfits, drug addicts, homosexuals, prostitutes, armed robbers. I mean, you see them all there. Eben, how did you fall into drugs?
So when I went to infant film school, I had certain friends that I used to run out of school with to the outskirts of the school. So when we go to the outskirts of the school, I was introduced to drugs because I met certain people who were offering drugs, and also I didn't grow up knowing my mom and my dad. So I grew up as an orphan with my grandmom, and I really loved that parental love. So I thought resorting to drugs could actually sustain or delete that kind of emotion that I had because of that motherly or fatherly aspect or factor that was missing in my life. That's why I resorted to drugs.
Wow. Max, how did you fall into drugs?
So we were 5 boys who grew up together, and by the
When you
year,
say 5 boys, you mean brothers?
yes, no, friends. Yes, please. Okay. So by the year 2010, 2011, one of us became a big scammer in Ghana. He had a lot of money. Okay, so he influenced 3 of us, excluding one, because he was born again. He was a member of Royal Chapel.
Wow.
Yes, yes. And it was through him that also got saved. So because he had enough money, he was able to lure us, 3 of us, into drugs.
Wow. Pastor Yao.
Yes, ma'am.
How did you fall into drugs?
Okay, so mine was more to do with watching movies when I was young with some of my friends or neighbors who used to travel to the UK and America. When they came back, we used to go to their houses to watch movies and stuff like that. And I used to, in the movies, something like Scarface, you know, we used to see them taking drugs and stuff like that. So when I got to Presec and I met some seniors who were into drugs, I already knew about drugs. So when they were going to smoke, I was like, okay, let me go with you and try it this time, because at home, I didn't have the opportunity to do it because my mom or my dad would catch me. So in school now, I was free, and then I started doing it from school. So it's peer pressure, basically.
Yep. Wow.
Yeah.
How many years were you on drugs?
Altogether, I'll say about 14 years.
14 years.
Yes, from Presec and then right to London. If I add it all together, it'll be about 14 years, yeah.
Who? Max, how many years were you on drugs?
Mine was just a year, but it was an issue of life and death. I almost died. So if I had not come out, the least that could have happened was that I would have been walking on the street of Accra mad. So it was just God that saved me.
Eben, how long were you on drugs?
Yes, mommy.
How long were you on drugs?
I was on drugs for 7 years. That's from 2004 to 2011.
So how did the drugs affect your academic performance and your academic work?
Okay, so on my first admission to University of Ghana, my GPA was very low. I had a lot of F's and E's because I wasn't really getting time to study. I was always resorting to drugs and also going to the street and stealing, and doing all sorts.
Okay, we'll come back to you, Eben. How did the drugs affect your academic work?
So I lost passion for school. Back in senior high, I had good grades. I had straight A's. But because of, like I said, the friend who was the big scammer, he was a senior SHS dropout. But he had a lot of money. So influence that, if this guy is a school dropout.
What was the point?
Yes. So I lost passion for school. I said, okay, if this is how he's going to do it, that means we all have to chase after the paper. So
Wow.
I didn't have passion for school again.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
How did drugs affect your academic performance?
You know, when I was in Presec, it didn't really affect my performance because I wasn't smoking hard drugs.
Okay.
I was doing more of like alcohol, cigarettes, and sometimes a bit of weed, which is ganja, you know. But one time I tried...
When you talk about
hard drugs, you're talking about cocaine, you're talking about heroin, you know, injection and all those kind of things. That's hard drugs.
I hear Eben is back online. Eben.
Yes, mommy.
So, please continue from where you stopped off. How did drugs affect your academic performance?
So, as an intelligent student coming out of Infantipim, my academic performance was perfect. But when I entered college, the desire for drugs really increased.
University.
So it really made my academic performance decline so badly because I didn't have time to read my books. I was always on the street trying to steal from people to sell in order to purchase drugs.
Wow. So, yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
How did it affect your academic performance?
So
you said you were okay.
Yes.
Because
it wasn't that much.
That much.
Yeah.
That one wasn't hard drugs.
Yes, man.
So that one had you call it soft drugs.
That was soft drugs, you know. But I just shared this experience on one occasion when I went out to smoke with one of my seniors, and the weed entered my brain, and I began to behave funny. You know, I was running and all those kind of things, and I realized that it wasn't good for me. So I took a break from it and went more onto alcohol and stuff. So that one, I'll say that when I was in Presec, it didn't affect. But when I went to university, because I was also mixing the hard drugs with the soft drugs, I saw a decline in my performance, you know.
So some people mix it up.
Yeah, like you can mix weed with crack or weed with cocaine.
Okay.
You know, we call it lacing, you know.
Lacing.
Yeah, like, I mean, you be in a nightclub and you with the white boys and the Indian boys and the Jamaicans, and everybody wants to get on a certain kind of level. So they will lace the weed and the cigarette with coke. And we will be listening to drum and bass, which is like house and garage, you know, it's like boom, 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 you know, that kind of sound.
That's
and
right.
and it goes with the drugs, you understand? And we could party from morning, like from night to dawn, and then go on and on and on because you're so high. And you don't, obviously you're not gonna get time to study your books. By the time that I realized I was declining, and there was nobody around, my parents weren't around, nobody was there to check me, so obviously I wasn't really bothered about my grades and stuff like that. But then it really affected me, seriously, yeah.
So it affected your academic performance?
Yeah, it did, really badly, you know, and I had to check myself, you understand? I had to really find a way to adjust. But, you know, once you get on it, it's hard to come out of it. So you have to live with it and try to just live a life smoking drugs and going to school at the same time. But you're never going to succeed.
So were you able to complete East London University?
It was a 3-year course.
Okay.
2 years, they'll give you a diploma. Okay. I was in my 3rd year when I hit rock bottom. So obviously they gave me a diploma. And I was supposed to go back and finish the 3rd year, but I was on streets by this time. I didn't really care about whatever I was doing, you know. So I wasn't bothered, yeah. You know, so, yeah.
Eben, were you able to complete University of Ghana? Were you able to complete University of Ghana?
No, mommy. I dropped out of school in 2010 because of drugs. I wasn't able to complete on my first try into University of Ghana. Okay. I wasn't able to complete because of drugs.
Okay. Were you in level 100 or level 200?
I was about to enter level 300 when I dropped out of school.
You are about to enter into level 300. So you have done
Yes, mommy.
2 years of university, university work. 2 years.
Yes, mommy. 2 years.
Whew. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
How did the drugs affect your family?
Whoa.
Members
whoa.
of your family? Were they okay? Were they happy?
This part is very emotional. I mean, especially my mother, knowing very well the kind of child that I was, how she raised me, the Christian morals and everything, how intelligent that I was, and she saw the decline in my life. It hit her very much. My siblings were also affected, especially my little sister. She was very close to me.
So they all knew you were on drugs?
Yeah, I mean, your life, your mood swings, the way